Some read you the
Explore how
process that
COVID reshaped
the
outsole creativity,
open outsole business is
sustainability,
evolving
and
with yes and
craftsmanship
no's
for a new
focusing on those
era.
options, reaching new heights of quality and creativity.
Yes. Well, the beauty of it was it happened through osmosis. It was during COVID. So think about it. COVID happened. Most people dumped their orders. When they dumped their orders, Nike, Adidas, and Puma didn't make the outsoles when they ordered the shoes. The outsoles had to be made 3-4 months before it all hit. So when everything went bad, you had a whole bunch of product from smaller companies that just got canceled. You think that the manufacturers, whether it's shoelaces, outsoles, uppers, or the like, are going to throw it in the garbage because you said so? No, they threw it in the open market. So now you're walking around looking at product. You're looking at product that may or may not be a few years old, but no one saw it, so it's still new. So now you can pick up on the design reference. When people say they invented some shit, bro, you went to the outsole factory, looked at what's new, what's going on, and you designed your upper around it. That's what they're doing, because most of the companies that are price conscious, they're not giving you room to design your own outsole. They're giving you enough room to say, hey, this is the outsole that we found in the market that's going to meet our price point. Design the best uppers you can on that. And that's the upper part of the shoe. That's the t-shirt part. But the outsole, the brass tell you what you're working on. The Cortez, if you look, anytime the market gets rough, and I mean economically, everybody goes back to cup soles and vulcanized. So if you go on Gucci's website, I don't give a fuck if that's $800. That's a cup sole shoe. That shoe is made about $12, bro. Cut the bullshit. You just running up the score. When you see the vulcanized version of the Adidas shit, man, you running up the score on people. And that's because it's a money grab. Oh, training shoes are it. Bro, that's fucking, I know what you're doing. So being creative, yeah, good luck with your 1,200 pair. When you want to make some money, go to the market like everybody else. Look at the product that the guys who made last year, the best product, and enhance that. Go make money.
So back to AI real fast. Do you think the time's going to come, or maybe it's already happening, where AI robots take the place of factory workers?
No, because the nuances with factory skill sets are what's going to destroy the factory worker, and we're going to regress before we go back. Meaning, you need a real craftsman in there. There's certain things on the wheels that I've seen and on the assembly lines that I've seen that I couldn't pull that off. I couldn't understand that. I don't know how they did that, but the way you glue it, the type of glue, the type of ball resin all of these different things come from craftsmen. And when you have a craft, like Vietnam is great with craft. When you have a craftsman, that takes time. You can't laser cut it. Like I'm looking at the 3D shoe revolution, right? And that's about to go the same way the fucking VCR went in the Betamax. Because we remember the Maker Bot? That's which way that's gonna go. Everybody said, "Oh my God, we can make our own shoes." And no, 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 bro. This is just a whole bunch of bullshit that you can make a great sample with. One of my old bosses, we had one of the original. I forgot it was the big machine. It was about as big as this table. It cost 150 grand. We didn't even know how to make a goddamn cup with it. And that was the early versions of it. And we probably all got radiation poisoning from it, from x-rays. But now I'm looking at the technology. It's dope for the purpose that it was made for. It cuts down the time between making a sample collection and presenting it to your customer. That's all it's good for. But the actual putting the shoe together, you're going to still need craftsmen. And the market is not going to let you skimp on that. Not right now.
Okay. So earlier you talked about sustainability, right? So a lot of people don't know this, but like there's a lot of like textile waste, like this stuff going on. Like, how do you help prevent like textile waste and make sure like your product is sustainable and climate friendly as possible?
In a simple story, Vietnam takes back all of the West returns from Zara, H&M, they take all of that garbage back, right? And Vietnam re-imports a lot of it to take the dye out of the denim, strip down the cotton, and then spin new garments out of there. What spawned from there is an entire secondhand vintage market within that market. So just in the Ton Bin area, there's almost a whole village of secondhand vintage clothing. In the vintage market right now is an $80 billion market this year that's growing to 127 billion. If you look at the numbers, 127 billion over the next 2 years. And that's because people are tired of the fast food fashion because, you know, I'm not tired of it because I understood the value of it. I'm tired of not doing something with the waste. So what we started doing is that we'll go and buy denim. I'll go buy 200 pairs of jeans, recycled jeans, or just vintage jeans. And what we did was we started turning those jeans into jean jackets, recycling them, cutting the denim up, repurposing them, putting the new patches on, and sending them back out there as bespoke product. You know, one or two pieces of just this jacket, nobody else has it, and we're wrapping it around the t-shirts and the hoodies and the baseball caps because the kid I remember back in the days you couldn't come outside dressed the same way as I did. One of us got to go inside or we got to fight this out. That's what being an individual was. They took every kid out here and put him in the same goddamn Adidas tracksuit and track pants. You can't tell the difference now. So I think there's a small collective now that are looking for how to be different and repurposing clothing. You know, Ralph Lauren just opened his vintage site. I